Hey YouTubers, this is Old John. It's April 14th, 2015. I'm going to do a quick walk around of my house, show you some of the blooming trees and bushes we have, and maybe quickly go over some of the projects I've done. Here's our mailbox. There's my wife's clematis starting to bloom out. On this side we took out a bunch of juniper bushes, about 5 I think. This is a cherry tree and it's got a lot of berries or cherries under it. Put down some weed application, so I'm seeing if it'll kill these weeds. But you can see all the cherries. Here on this part of the garage we took out some more junipers. These tall yews, we have problems with birds nesting in them, and I put a net over them. I have a video on that. Didn't get the one on the left here in time because a robin, first time I ever seen a robin put a nest in something this low. This little bed here was mulch. We replaced it with rock, 1-inch rock. We took out the yews down here also in front of the porch. Now this is a cherry tree also, but I think, at least my wife thinks it is, but it doesn't have any cherries on it. It's kind of like the ones maybe in Washington DC. Here's a bed we added with pea gravel. This was kind of a sloping portion to the side, to the sidewalk, and kind of hard to mow, and kind of washed a little bit, so we put some landscaping bricks down and put gravel. I have a YouTube video on that. There's a little pump we put up. I didn't make a video on that. It's just a simple pump that pumps water. There's a tree. I'll put the label here. I can't remember what kind it is. It's starting to leaf out. Again, here we had tall junipers in front of the window, in the sides of the window, and we took those out. Here's our pin oak. We have pin oaks throughout the subdivision. That's a characteristic of this subdivision. This had mulch around it. We replaced it and put pea gravel. We have some tulips and some daffodils that have died already. This bed here had some tall bushes and we removed those. It also had mulch. We put gravel down, and my wife put some additional flowers in. Here we have a nice white birch, and it had mulch around it, and we removed that and put down pea gravel. This side here, I put a hose cart on and have a video on that. Put our hose on. I haven't put the hose on it yet. We'll be getting that out soon. These pipes standing up here are sprinkler system, and I have to turn that on if I want to use the sprinkler. I have sprinklers throughout the yard. This bed here used to be mulch, and it used to have bunch of bushes. We took those out and put pea gravel in, and I put additional block or bricks, concrete bricks across to act as kind of dams to slow the water down. I have a video on that. I'll put a link to. All these I'll try to put links to in case you want to watch the videos. Of course, this is the burning bush right here. We left it in, and the burning bush down at the bottom. Here's a nice tree. I think it's much similar to the one in the front. It's blooming now. And we have some maples and additional trees down here. Here's our enormous patio that sits under our large deck. Up here on the sides of the deck, I put AZEK plastic board across. On these deck posts, they're white painted 4x4s. You can see them at the top. I covered them with a plastic, which has really been nice. Underneath this deck we get lots of birds trying to nest, and so I came up with a bird deterrent. I took all these plastic containers, they're square, and cut notches in them, little spikes in them, and put those various places. These are the pipes going in and out of our furnace, our high efficiency furnace, and then a pipe coming out of our water heater. It has a venting fan on it. It's a high efficiency water heater. So I did try flagging, it's called. Surveyors use it to mark stakes to try to scare the birds. Probably need to take that off. Still having a little bit of problem with the bird over here, and put up some additional bird deterrents. If you can see the droppings here, I need to put some more. It's not quite working now. He's not building a nest, but he's roosting there underneath at night. This bed here, we removed again the mulch, replaced it with gravel. Over here we did the same, just had mulch and a cane-like stuff in it. We cut these hibiscus plants way back. They were really going crazy. This bed here was really a mess. It was all mulch and all kind of bushes. We thinned it out and put a bunch of gravel in it. Did the same with this bed. We put gravel in and additional concrete bricks on the back side. I put up some lattices, and I made a video on this. Pretty simple lattice. I cut out a bigger piece of lattice for clematises that grow. There's two clematises here, and you can see the one going up through the lattice. This one's not growing as fast. Put a little bed around this bush also, and put some edging. I did edging on this bed too, and I made a video of it. I need to do some weed eating. It's still early in the year. I've mowed twice and been so wet, haven't had a chance to really weed eat yet. We put gravel around this tree here. It had concrete bricks around them, and we used the bricks actually up on these other beds. And I'm going to put edging around it. This tree needs edging also. This is where my foundations drain. Everything drains by gravity since I have a falling backyard. No sump pump needed. This is downspout drains coming out here. Here's another tree I put the edging around, and we replaced the mulch with rock. This bed in the back, we did the same thing, and it had several bushes in it we removed. Had a rose bush, and my wife decided she didn't like that. I need to do some weed eating along it, and I put some little brick-like blocks that came around from the front of the house, put them back here instead. I have a weeping willow here. We've had to do some trimming, had some dead branches in it, and we put some gravel around it. I need to put some edging around it also. This bed, we did the same thing. We removed the mulch and put gravel in. So this is the backyard. This tree, we put gravel around, also removed the mulch, removed the concrete block edging, and put a black plastic edging in around also. My wife's little 4x4 garden. She grew a lot of arugula in this and kale last year. That's our sunroom. It sits on the back of the house. It's a nice thing to have in the winter and summer. This fencing along the side of the garage. We had like a 70-mile-an-hour wind last spring, and it blew off one of the sections of the fence and broke part of it, so I took it and cut it down and made a shorter fence on the end. That worked out pretty well. And it's funny because I took the leftover pieces of fence, and they were just the right size with a little trimming to make little tables that I put our laptops on, and they also act as a little food tray. We're back around the house now, and we're looking at the side of the driveway where we took out a bunch of junipers. Now we just have the boxwoods. This is where the air conditioner is. And also hook up for my generator, and I ran this just recently because we had a power outage. Plugged the power cord from the generator in here. It's a 30 amp box, Reliance. That's where my main power comes in. So my panel is just on the opposite side of this wall in the garage, and I've got a wire running from here through the wall over to the panel on the inside to a 30 amp breaker, and I set the generator here, plug it in, and then I can run the whole house electric system with one generator and just one hookup. So that's worked out well. I have a pretty good size driveway here, which I've bladed off a few times with my John Deere tractor and blade. I've had videos on installing that blade and so forth. So we're back to the front. We made a complete route around the house, and that's all for now, YouTubers. Old John over and out.